Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ariel Maislos. I'm the founder and CEO of Stratoscale. And I'm going to talk with you a little bit about setting up an Amazon region in any data center. So when we're looking at infrastructure today, the traditional approach has been layering core capabilities in storage, compute, and networking, and then deploying an application on top of it. Business value is most often derived from the application, not directly from infrastructure. And the role of infrastructure is to support this application and make sure that it can provide that business value. What is happening recently is the nature of application development is evolving. The building blocks for developing applications have changed, and developers are more and more relying on building blocks that represent higher level constructs. They represent databases, orchestration, big data analytics, object buckets, operational aspects, and so on. They are getting further and further away from the hardware. Software is eating the world, and more complex software is eating simpler software, and that's how we're getting to the applications that we're building. The reason for that is simple. All the teams are limited in size and budget. They don't have many people. They're short on time and money, and they want results fast. So to get the results, you need to stand on the shoulders of giants. You're taking advantage of other applications in order to build your applications. It saves you time. It saves you effort. You're getting to the results that you want faster. If the problem that I'm trying to solve is crunching through 8 petabytes of video, I don't want to deal with networking. I don't want to deal with low-level server virtualization. I want to use frameworks that allow me to solve this problem faster. This process of application development is becoming very clear in the cloud context. In fact, cloud-native applications that are deployed on Amazon and other leading public clouds are using this exact paradigm. We're seeing application stacks that are taking advantage of services and building blocks that are more rich and more complex, saving effort and time for the development teams. When we're looking at what is happening in the enterprise data center, this is translating into a massive transition from a VMware-centric architecture, where we are managing virtualization at its core, to an application-centric infrastructure that is represented by the public cloud. In fact, it has become almost a massive transition away from one application framework to the next. Again, the reasons for that are many. Ease of use, self-service capability, faster time to value, having the right building blocks are all essential for this transition. What we're trying to do at Stratoscale is to deliver a fully compatible AWS region that you can deploy in any data center. This allows you to get the benefits of the public cloud, but do it in your own controlled environment, on-prem, in an environment that you own, that you have better control over the security, the governance, and the cost. Currently, we are focusing on providing the core services that Amazon is offering, but deploying them in an enterprise data center easily. When we're looking at approximately 90% of the consumption in the public cloud today is focused on the core services of EC2, containers, S3 object store, block store, as well as database as a service, RDS. Combined together with VPC, virtual networking services. All of these are provided today on our platform, deployed in any data center in less than a day. We're extending this, and over the next few quarters, we are releasing big data frameworks compatible with EMR, serverless processing, compatible with Lambda, queuing services, notification services, additional database services like DynamoDB and Redshift, and networking services like ELB. The idea, again, is to provide you with a richer and richer set of resources that you can deploy inside the perimeter, behind the firewall, in your data center that are fully compatible with the public cloud. The idea, again, is to support the customer. Every IT department has internal customers. They're called application developers. They want cloud services. And if an IT department is offering hardware services, let's talk about the new blade. Let's talk about a cool new network feature. Let's talk about dedupe in the storage. But your internal customer is talking about Spark and Kafka and Hadoop. It's like, bringing a knife to a gunfight. You're not speaking the same language. So what we're offering is actually bringing that language and satisfying the internal customer, being able to give him what he wants, avoid shadow IT. Okay? Now, doing that in a way that is compatible with the public cloud makes sense. We don't want to create a new framework. We don't want to invent something new. We don't want to teach developers a new set of APIs and frameworks. They already know Amazon. They love Amazon. Let's give them an Amazon service behind the firewall. So not new set of APIs, not something proprietary to lock them in. From the business perspective, it's all about control. Moving to the cloud, frankly speaking, it's a one-way transition. Okay? It's another trap. Once your data is there, it's locked forever. So it's about giving you control. It's about giving you the ability to make a decision what should run where. When a cloud-native application is designed, it can only run in the cloud. It cannot run anywhere else. We're giving you the ability to run those cloud-native applications anywhere. Whatever makes sense to you. For some organizations, it makes sense to run everything in the public cloud. For many others, there's a balance to be made. And we're allowing you to make that decision at any point in time, because you can move your data, and now you can also move your applications. It allows you also, again, to avoid the data gravity trap. When you move your data to the public cloud, very quickly, all of your applications are running there. So having the ability to transition both ways makes a lot of sense. Again, from an IT perspective, it's about leading the cloud journey. Many IT organizations, unfortunately, are in the trailing edge of the transition to the cloud. Okay? We can say a few years ago, the IT team was smarter and ahead of the curve compared with the internal customers. Today, with the proliferation of developers in the business units, with the knowledge of DevOps that exists in many organizations, the internal customers are ahead of IT. And they are setting the terms of the transition to the cloud, and IT, to some extent, is becoming less and less relevant. I've had a lot of conversations with CIOs that were telling me that their internal customers were treating them not as part of the solution, but as part of the problem. Again, this is a way to help them become part of the solution. Again, giving the developers what they want creates alignment of interest between the IT team and their core customers. And through that, they can reach solutions together instead of bypassing them. Being able to deploy inside and develop outside, or develop inside and deploy outside, gives you tremendous operational flexibility. By having two environments that are completely separate, the private environment behind the firewall, typically VMware-based, and the public cloud, whether Azure or AWS, you have two completely separate paradigms with no way to traverse between them. Creating the same environments inside and outside allows you to create full alignment, and that's what we're offering in Stratoscale. Let me jump that. Again, we can give a demo in our booth. What we are offering is the ability to take advantage of Cisco equipment, servers, storage, and network, transform them into a private cloud that is AWS compatible, that you can deploy anywhere, from as small as 4 servers to as large as thousands, and start delivering services. Services are what the customers want. Physical infrastructure is what we're dealing with today, and we're allowing to bridge both worlds. Thank you.